everybody that's a music teacher was influenced by someone. They had a mentor, they had someone that they went, wow, I'd like to do that too. Not every student in a quality music program should go into music education. There's not enough room for them, and they're not, and you know, but they're. I think sometimes the hesitancy is with the parents. Sometimes the hesitancy is with the student. You know, the research says that the better the musician, the better the musician, the better they are academically. So our students that are sitting there in band choirs and orchestras, let's say, that are really our leaders, our student leaders, maybe our student conductors, our section leaders, our, you know, they're really bright kids, and they don't just play or sing well. They're probably at the top of their class in the academic areas, which in order to get into any major university now, you have to be. It's very difficult to get into my university, University of Florida. It used to be if you played well, you sang well, you got in. Now you have to have the SAT scores and the GPAs and so on. But those kind of students are kind of torn between the perception that teachers, music teachers, you know, they don't make enough money and they're not very, you know, they don't get supported in the way they should. So, you know, what I try to do, you know, I just graduated a student who's just unbelievable, and her father's an attorney, her mother's a teacher. And was really torn about, you know, is this going to get me where I want to be as a person in a profession that's going to be satisfying? And, you know, she got into her field experience in student teaching and just went, this is what I want to do. This is exactly what I want to do. And so, you know, when I talk to high school students or when they come to audition, I say, you know, first of all, if you don't audition, you're not going to get someplace. So audition a lot of places, and then when you feel this is the right place for you, that's where you're going to go. You know, I think the best recruiting is when a university says, go where it's the best fit for you. If it's us, great. If it's a large school of music with 700 music majors, 200 graduate students, where you're probably not going to get in the top band, choir, orchestra, or opera, or whatever, until your senior year. If you're that kind of fighter, go to that school. If it's a small school, you know, with 100 music majors, and you're going to get the opportunity to do all sorts of things, and you like that environment, then that's the place for you to go. And also to take a look at the music education program. Is it viable? Is it teaching the reality, not the myth? Does it have faculty who are involved in, you know, public school education still? Because, you know, as I tell my workshop people, you know, if I can't stand up in front of a high school choir or a middle school choir and teach them, then I shouldn't be teaching teachers how to teach. So, and that's something that university professors kind of have to make a conscious effort to stay involved with teaching, because that's the kind of programs I think students are going to get the biggest benefit when they graduate, because they're going to have some skills. They're going to know what to do. Totally no, because, you know, their last year of college is generally their first year of teaching, where you get that on-the-job training. But, you know, it's a great profession. I will say, because I've had this debate with my university, because they tried to cut our entire College of Education out, which would have meant music education would go too. And I wrote the president and the provost and said, why would you want to do that? This is a certified program. This is a program where graduates are credentialed when they graduate to get a job. There are very few other programs where when you graduate, you have a credential to walk in and get a job. Usually it's a credential. It's not a credential. It just means you have to go get a master's in business or whatever, or you have to do, you know, whatever in the liberal arts, or you have to go on and get a medical degree or go on and get a law degree. But that baccalaureate degree in music education is a credential to go and get a job. And I think that's pretty good for the economy. And, you know, you're not going to make a lot of money, but that's not why you're in it. You know, you're going to make a living. When I started out in 1974 making $8,836 a year, I still had money left at the end of the month. And I do a whole presentation for undergraduates on the economics of music teaching, why it pays to be a music education major. That you know, depending on where you want to go, you can have various starting salaries, and sometimes they're not very savvy about that when they graduate. So we try to coach them up on that a little bit.